Hello, this is Kate, and this is week 15 for the Gray team in the recreational league that I play in. This video will show both games that I played this week, and up first is our game versus Maroon. Would have been nice to get a bit more punch on that one. Made the mistake of thinking I had enough time to get up here. Very lucky I got that one. And that's the end of the first period. This is one of those goals that is, it's a good goal, but at the same time, I'm annoyed with it myself because one of the biggest things I'm working on is projecting my glove toward the puck. So I always want to have my pocket facing the puck, especially in situations like this where they're trying to get around me and they're in close. And instead, I've dropped my glove. It's not quite projected and facing the way I want it to be. And it's something that definitely would have helped me try and get this shot. So definitely disappointing. It's always funny when I can find clips of me telling myself off for stuff like that. Definitely should have been able to contain that shot. Gotta love those casual surprise saves. This one stung my collarbone quite a bit. In these games, I'm currently in my no neck guard era because the neck guard I had, the Velcro wore out so much that it wouldn't stay on, so I just stopped wearing it. I have one now, but I played about a year without one, I think. Can you tell that I like to avoid passes off the end boards? So ridiculous. The ref and I had a laugh about it though. And that's the end of the second period. So the way these games are set up, if I've never explained it, is they have 2 10-minute periods with stop time. And then the third period is basically how much time do we have left in the ice time? And it's run time, except maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes if it's a close game. All that to say that about 7 or so minutes went by in our 16-minute third period. And I thought to myself, I don't think I've had any shots yet. Absolutely jinxed myself. Got a piece of that one with the cuff of my glove. The super wide lens would have a better chance of picking this up, but I don't really like the fisheye look. However, it's just a nice little pass behind the net here to my defender. I told her later, you were supposed to skate down to the other end and get me an assist. Always love the sound of a toe save. And when you don't contain or clear rebounds, you end up having to make 4 saves in quick succession. Keeping things exciting at least. Free whistle. And that is the end of the first game. As always with this league, I will post the final score of this game and the next one in the description. I don't have too much to say about this game. I think overall I played pretty well. Maybe a few too many rebounds, but I was out and challenging and cutting down angles well. So I think we'll just move on to the next game, which was played 2 days later. This game was my gray team versus the white team. The pucks were a little late arriving to this one, so I had to improvise a little with my warm-up. A little bit of a panicked dive onto the puck here. This puck had been coming right from my mask, and then I stood up tall enough that it hit the top of my chest guard, and suddenly it was a live puck. I wrote down in my little book that the puck was just behaving weirdly, and it was bouncing oddly like all night. And this is just one example of that. Just felt like a struggle to get a hold of it constantly. And that's the end of the first period. Another crazy bounce that I can't get a hold of. And then I have a butterfly push failure. So I have to swipe at the next shot with my glove instead. May as well just resort to the old-timey pad stack as well, right? Just throw everything in there. Not taking any unnecessary chances at this point. And that's the end of the second period. That was definitely a scary one. This puck was for sure going wide until it hit a skate, and suddenly it wasn't anymore. Nice little blocker save to start this series off. A less nice place to direct that puck, but at least I'm able to get to my feet here and challenge the follow-up shot. I just stayed standing here, old school style, because I was afraid if I went down into RVH, I would open up a hole and lose my shutout right at the end of the game. But that is the end of the game and the end of week 15. As I said earlier, if you're really interested, the final scores will be in the description. Overall, this one went pretty well. Like, it's always nice to walk out of a game with a shutout, for sure. There were definitely some wild shots, wild bounces. Would have been nice to let off a lot less rebounds. If I could have found ways to cover more pucks, or at the very least, get the pucks out of the crease and away from danger, it definitely would have felt like a more controlled game. Whereas this one ended up feeling a bit wild and unpredictable. It worked out in the end, but I definitely could have played more in control and less flying by the seat of my pants and hoping the pucks stay out. I don't know. But anyways, that is the end of week 15. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.